It is again 4:55 in the morning. Just couldn't sleep. Was really excited about getting episode 3 into the books for Disruptive Sales. I want this YouTube channel, this video stream for Disruptive Sales to be interactive, and I want it to be fun. I generally do not dress with an undershirt and Disruptive Sales cap when I go meet my clients and my customers. I usually am in a suit or at least in a jacket and pants. Interactive, I want this to be fun, and that's why I'm just jumping right into it. And in this week's Disruptive Sales, we're going to review, we talked about Tell to Win by Peter Guber. Hopefully one or two of you actually went out and bought the book. I am about 3/4 of the way through for the third time. It talks about storytelling, the art of the tell, really interesting stuff, and the type of people that Peter has gotten to have to do business and try to sell over his career. This week's book, we'll get to in a second, is actually by Jason Fried, the founder of 37 Signals, which is actually was rebranded Basecamp of his software, but we'll get to that in a second. I asked for questions. Sunday morning, I started doing a Periscope and a Facebook Live where it allows people to come in and ask questions about sales. Gentleman came in and talked about oncology pharmacy. It was a really cool dialogue, and he asked me the following question. I don't have a copy of exactly his Twitter handle, so hopefully you are out there and you'll see this and you'll contact me so I can give you proper and plug. So the question was, how do you respond to a customer when they say they are happy with their current vendor? Happens to all of us. Let's say you are a real estate agent or you are a mortgage broker and you're going to a company that has tons of acquisitions of commercial properties, and you're approaching them and that you are offering them your service, and it could even be a referral into that company. And they say, we are happy with our current rates, our current bank. How do you respond to that? Do you just say, okay, thank you very much for your time, and go on your way? And if you do that, you should be taken out to the street and slapped upside your head. They're opening the door for a conversation, and you are now able to use what we talked about last week, one of the most important tools of a salesperson's arsenal: posing a question. By posing a question, you are setting the table for you to take control of that dialogue, of that engagement. And what you should ask them is, a lot of people are very happy with their vendors, and if I was your vendor, I would be very happy and want you to say that same answer. But I'm trying to always learn about what my competition and what my other companies in this space are doing so well that a company like yours are so happy with. So tell me, Mr. Customer, what are you most happy with your current provider? Is it the rates? Is it the way they are responsive to you? Are they accessible? Do you have a dedicated person? Please tell me what it is that is most appealing to you to say that you are happy with your current vendor. And then shut up, and then close your mouth. And then listen. Everyone likes talking about themselves, and in this case, they're going to tell you what they're happy with. Not only are you going to learn what they're happy with, it's then going to lead what they may not be happy with. And once you find out that information, there's always going to be a time that your number one go-to vendor is going to not be able to come through for you, or they're going to mess up. I hope it never happens to you, Mr. Customer. But when it does, I want you to go ahead and contact me. I want to be your number two. I want to be your relief pitcher, that if you have to go to the bullpen, you know I'm ready and waiting to prove to you at that one shot that I can do everything that I say and that I'm hungry for your business. Would that be okay? Can I rely on that with you? And of course, they should say yes. And then it's your job to be in touch with them. Every other week, send them an interesting article of their industry. Send them a cute quote that they can share with their business, with their office, and with their employees. You have to be persistent and be in front of them without being a real a-hole. Provide value to them. As Gary Vaynerchuk says, give them a jab, another jab, and then when they call you and give you that shot, That's when you give him with the right uppercut, with the right hook. All right, so I hope that was helpful. A great question came by on Twitter this week. Robert Bingham, the Twitter handle is Colorado IT, and he poses this question: what's the number one killer of a sale? That one thing or things that someone does that could kill a sale dead in its tracks. For me, being over aggressive, being too needy, showing them that you need or want that sale too much, so much so that you cross the line of educating them. You cross the line of, what do I always talk about sales? You cross the line of going from providing a service and helping them to selling them. That's a killer. As soon as someone gets into that sales mode, and I could tell that they're just selling and they're not really connecting with you, with me, that's when I cut off. I shut off, and you don't have a shot of really getting my business. There was someone in the title insurance business, and he got a job working for them and was trained how to sell and how to build relationships and how to build a network. He was given the lay of the land and the strategy of actually to go ahead, and they did a really good job of putting a manual together how to go about it. And it was very similar to what some other companies do out there, insurance companies, that way you have a cup of coffee, and then before you leave, give me a list of 3 people that I can contact on behalf of you and meet with them. It's fine if you're starting off with the business, but it became such robotic by rote. It wasn't genuine. And I was able to tell, and probably most business people were able to tell and could able to tell, not that he was being fake or phony, it just wasn't really him. He wasn't making personal. He was all about following everything by the letter of the law. Now, regarding this question, what is the worst thing that someone can do? It's being overly aggressive, being too eager, selling too much, and remembering we're in the business of not selling. Sales are a result of us helping the other person, the other business. We're not in the business, and if you are, you're not going to last. We are not in the business of trying to sell something to someone that they don't already need. Now, they may not know that they need something, and that's your job to educate them on what your business or product can do, and that will allow them to see, wow, I really could benefit from that tool that allows me to help them build rapport. Or I can really benefit for that type of social media marketing, digital agency that can really train my people how to provide the content instead of providing the content. And then once I'm educated, then I need that. I need that product. I need that service. So don't cross that line of being the eager beaver. Think about it as always being the relationship. Relationship selling is the long-term way to do sales. All right, let's talk about the book. The book by Jason Fried is Rework. He's the founder of 37 Signals, and they created a software that allows teams and companies to collaborate in called Basecamp. So much so that he switched the name and rebranded the company so they would be known as Basecamp. And he's an author of a book, and obviously New York Times bestselling author, but he's also a regular contributor to Inc. magazine. I'm really hoping, actually, I'm going to be in Chicago for the last week of the month. Sage Summit is going on, and I'm really hoping that maybe Jason or someone out there will show him this video that I am plugging his book. I mean, look at that. That's on 2 times reading it. This is actionable stuff, and I got pages that are earmarked that I have implemented in my company. And if Jason, if you do see this, or someone knows Jason Fried and can introduce me to him, I'd love to go and meet him and just learn from him. I'm going to be there at the conference. It's in Chicago. I'd love to always learn. You know, people say, and I'll even say it, Gary Vaynerchuk, who I'm a big follower of, stop being a student and just start doing. I sort of disagree with that, Gary. I love you dearly. Never stop being a student. always continue learning about your craft. Gary, when you were looking at and learning about the Pokemon app and how you can monetize that, you were becoming a student of the app. You were finding out what makes it tick, how it can be branded, and then you put out this article explaining everything about it. That's great. But you were a student and studied that specific part of social media and marketing. I will never stop being a student of the craft that I love, which is sales and helping people. And I urge everyone out there to also never stop searching for content, for people to connect with and to continue to learn from. So go ahead, invest and rework. If you have your own company, if you have your own team, it has some really, really great ideas, and hit the road, hit the street running type of tips and strategies. All right. Episode 4, I'd love to put out before I head to Chicago. My question is, what has been your biggest obstacle in any of your positions, any of your previous jobs that you were not able to overcome? For me, I'll let you know right away, I was working in Smith Barney right when the technology bubble burst, and I was there when it started gaining. And I'll never forget the day, March 6, 2001, a week after I closed into our house. Had 2 kids at the time, probably 5 or 6 years old each. And the market tanked. I was a junior partner of someone that was a manager of about $400 million of portfolio business. A lot of it was income based. And he often went out of town on vacation, and I was the guy that took over for him. It was a great experience, and I love Joe for it. But from that time of March 6, 2001, for the next 6 months, I couldn't handle knowing that in my hands were other people's money. And to an extent, I really couldn't do anything about it. It ate me up inside. That I knew that someone's college fund or the grandchild's trust fund was going so down. Obviously, there's a strategy of waiting things out and then reinvesting when it comes down. I get all that, but I just wasn't able to hack that. I take my business and my customers too close to home, and that's what really makes a difference with me and my clients. Anyway, so that's the question. What is the biggest obstacle that you have to overcome, and maybe that you were not able to overcome in your career, whatever field that is? Disruptive Sales, please share this video. I got some really exciting news in the next week or two. Working on a lot of projects, and I started working with a lot of people and collaborating thanks to the book. So everyone that has purchased the book or shared the book, thank you so much, and reach out to me, and have a great weekend.